Welcome to the hunt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Huntcast Podcast. We know we're a day late, July the 29th. It's a Monday. Kind of glad we had to wait. So originally we postponed because our guest that we were going to have on this week, unfortunately, couldn't be on because of, we'll explain that in a minute. So we decided to wait till today. He still couldn't get on, but I'm kind of glad we waited because, boy, it was like the archery gods knew we needed something to talk about.
Yeah.
So before we get into our two topics for this evening, and I'm sure everybody knows what they are, if you watch or read anything that has to do with archery over the last 2 days, you saw some mind-blowing things and heard some mind-blowing things all at the same time. But before we do that, next week we will have Brian Hale on from Elk County Outfitters.
Yeah.
Also, next week is Cullman, Alabama. It's the Delta McKenzie Pro-Am, the final ASA shoot of the year. And following right up the following weekend will be IBO Worlds. So basically 3D season is over in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For 2024. So
that went fast.
Yeah, it goes real fast.
Yeah.
You might be heartbroken, but that just means hunting season is that much closer.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, out west, you got 4 weeks and the season's open up.
So we are 68 days away from the archery opener here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I did the math today. You can double check me if you'd like. But yeah, so we'll have some updates from Coleman next week. And funny part is I found that the other day I qualified for Worlds.
Really?
Yeah. So they changed some things this year, I guess. So I happened to go on to check a couple of the kids to make sure that they had qualified.
Right.
And my name is on the list. I actually called IBO and was like, I think somebody made an error. And they're like, no, you want the second leg, right? I said, yeah. And they said, no, you're in.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm up in the air whether I'll be going or not.
When is it?
We'd have to leave on like the 10th or 11th.
Okay.
It's that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the week after this coming weekend.
Okay.
And it's down in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. So it's only like a 4-hour ride. I literally have not been judging at all since the second leg and been working on the hunting bow. So I don't know if I'll go down or not. But
yeah,
one of the kids that qualified is going. The other two cannot go, or three cannot go. Sorry.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, as it gets closer.
Yeah.
You see.
2 weeks is a long time for me. That's
yeah.
All right. So we'll start with, what do you want to start with? A or B?
I think let's start with B.
Okay.
Let's start with B.
All right. So
just because it's already
up here. We have it loaded. We have it loaded.
Yeah.
So if you are a BowTech archery fan, break your wallets out. We're going to talk about the new bow that they released called the Honor.
Yeah.
And Doug and I have our various opinions on this.
Yeah. So
Doug shot BowTech prior.
Yep.
But when you have a starting price of $4,000, starting
yes,
at $4,000,
yeah,
that makes me nervous. Considering they fired their entire pro staff after last year, except for one, which tells me they don't have the money to be thrown around for certain things. And then they decide to launch a bow that currently is the most expensive bow on the market.
Yeah.
And I thought Expedition was bad. Expedition was $2,000. I was like, man, that's rough. No, hold my beer. Watch this.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Honor.
Yep. Now this is a 25th anniversary bow. That's the reason for this. So it's kind of a special thing. I mean, it wasn't just, this year's, flagship.
Right.
Bow.
Yeah.
There's a reason for this. So
sure.
I don't know if I haven't looked close enough to see if it's a limited run.
I haven't heard or seen anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it would be.
I would hope so.
So yeah, if you're, listen, if some of these BowTech fanboys,
trust me, I don't know if people are there. There's sold a few. I can tell you that already.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So the other part behind this, besides being the 25th anniversary, is they are putting some of the money from the sale of these bows to Folds of Honor, which is a veterans organization. So I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here, as Doug was just talking, and I'm looking at the website, and right under where it says Honor, it literally, their tagline is "Hunters love this bow."
Yeah.
Well, how do you know hunters love the bow? You just released it. That's $4,000.
Yeah. Well, I did read some of the feedback.
Okay.
Guys that they've had,
Some guys have been playing with it.
Yeah. All the BowTech guys, I'm sure have shot it. I'm sure it's been floating around.
Well, they only got one person up. They only got Paige. Paige ain't trying that bow.
Well, no, Paige is not shooting that bow. But hunters,
Sure.
They got a ton of guys that shoot BowTech.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that these guys were testing it and, getting their feedback. So, yeah. So, I mean, when you look at the specs, what's not to like?
We'll get into in a second. So,
other than the price tag.
Right. So
what's not to like?
So on their website now, you've heard us talk about and mention BowTech prior to this with the whole Athens fiasco. So we're gonna run this in a line. So we're going off of the website, looking at the pictures. We'll get to the specs here, but right under the starting at $4,000 price tag, it says a legacy of pushing the envelope and forging the future. And then it lists some bullet points of all about this bow. So again, they're going to proud to donate a portion of the proceeds to Folds of Honor. Okay, bravo. I'll give you a +1 for that one.
Yeah.
Introducing the revolutionary AeroMag Magnesium Riser.
Yep.
Okay, who else runs magnesium?
Well, they do.
Mm-hmm.
They do run magnesium, but this is not pure magnesium. From what I'm reading, this is...
Neither is the other one.
Oh, no?
That's this line right here.
Yeah.
Jumped off the page at me.
Okay.
So they're basically copying the other riser.
Is it exact the bright the chemical compounds are
these guys don't break down the chemical compound. I know what the chemical not that I right to a T.
Yeah.
But I know what the other riser is.
Okay.
So these guys leave out some wording, so I don't know if it's exact.
Yeah.
But Expedition has their Mag Light.
Yeah.
Which is magnesium and carbon.
Yep. Well, this has no carbon in it.
Right. So that's telling me that this is all magnesium.
Yeah.
So
and
it says that it's lighter than aluminum.
Yes.
And when we get to the specs, we'll go over a part of that.
Yes.
So go ahead. The next bullet point is...
Next one is the deadlock,
right,
which everyone knows about.
We all are familiar with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so the deadlock, it's same system, I assume. Same cam, same, deadlock system. So
the looks the same.
Yeah. I mean, without looking at the real details, it looks the same to me.
Right.
Yeah, so deadlock hasn't changed.
Then we got the time lock, which is the DIY timing adjustability. So that's in their new bows.
Yep.
So nothing crazy there.
Which I've never shot. My BowTech is older.
Right.
I don't have that technology. Right. So this is nice. I don't have this on my BowTech. Like I said, it is older, but it has the customizable grip lock system.
Right.
Which is nice because you can change
the angle
of your grip.
I've seen Paige play with that a little bit.
Without having to, replace the entire grip.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
All right. So now it is Cerakoted.
Which is also a nice plus.
Yep.
I think it's the only one on the market that's...
Right, it's not powder coated. Right. So it is scratch resistant.
Yep.
Looking at the pictures, they do have some graphics in there. Like I see like topo.
Yes.
I don't know what exactly that is.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
There's some like different things put into the riser.
Yeah, so. With the Cerakote, that kind of opens things up. There's a million things you could do with it. So that's kind of cool too.
Okay, so then it's the very next bullet point says, complete the full array of premium accessories.
Right.
Okay.
So that means it's going to come with your quiver, your sight, your rest, stabilizers.
I don't see any stabs on there.
No, it says it. When I read through it, it says stabilizers.
Okay.
It's also coming with a Pelican case.
The airbow case.
Yep.
The Reinhardt bow tree.
Oh, yeah. Yes, to hang the bow. Yep.
So
basically everything but arrows.
Right. Yeah. In the release. So we went through and looked at some of the pictures. So not that ripcord, I apologize. I don't think that's the wrong word.
Easy.
I'm not going to go and say that that's a premium rest.
Yeah. It's a good rest.
It's good, very good rest.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't call it premium.
Right.
It did have a tight spot quiver on it.
Yes.
And we figured out that it is a black gold because Doug runs the same site.
Yep.
However, we'll touch on a second legal issue. On this bow, it is definitely mounted like a bridge lock.
Yes.
So Mr. Matt McPherson, he's a buddy of mine. I would take a look at that because that looks very, very, very much like a Matthews bridge lock system.
Yeah.
So now the airbow case, Doug and I, we were discussing like for 20 minutes before we got on the air and this whole ordeal.
Yeah.
So the Pelican, very good case. I think SKB would have been a better choice, a little bit higher end. Pelicans are nice, but I would definitely take an SKB over the Pelican.
Yeah.
The BowTree, the only thing it keeps saying, it says that it provides vertical storage for the custom Pelican airbow case. So if anybody has a BowTree or seen a BowTree, I have a BowTree in the shop. Yeah. So it's a chunk of metal with hooks on it.
Right.
I have one, it's 2-tiered, and I'm trying to think of how many hooks are on it, but they're not that expensive.
Yeah.
I would have rather them reach out to somebody to make a custom. You know, if you're going that far, make it cool.
Yeah.
Like, no, just give them,
I get that. So this is not a bare bow like every other manufacturer is producing. So, when you start to break it down and you try to come up, okay, how do you come up with this number? So, what is that bare bow worth?
Well, and that's the hard part. So,
if you compare it to Expedition, that's
right.
the only other one with magnesium.
Is the only one close. Right. So they're 2,000 with nothing on it.
Right.
But with the accessories, I don't see another 2,000.
It's damn close because listen, you got the Pelican case is $400.
4.
Okay, so that's 4. Your black gold sight is going to be another 4.
Okay, 8.
That's 8. Your tight spot quiver. 2 and change.
No, because that's not one of the super fancy ones. That's not the one Keith ran on his bow.
Yeah,
that's just the standard one. So I'll go 150 on them, but I'm not going more than that.
Okay,
so you're $950.
That's right, $950. Your ripcord another $130. Okay, so let's talk round numbers here.
So we'll call it 1,020.
Yep, and then got the what else? The stabilizers.
Well, the stabilizers, we'll have to see what they are because I don't know what they are.
Average, let's say
$80.
$100. Okay.
Yeah, $80.
I'm just talking just easy numbers to kind of.
So we'll call it front and backs. We'll say 180.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing we forgot to mention is these have custom gas strings on them.
Right.
So
here's the deal. That would be considered a factory string.
Yeah.
Even though it's custom.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a high octane set.
Yep.
And
maybe you can choose colors. I don't know.
Well, high octane, you can choose whatever color you want on their card.
Right. If it's ghost, it's different.
Ghost, it's only camo or white.
Right.
So that's the only way it would go up in price is if it's ghost or a freak show.
Yeah.
But
you're getting good strings.
Oh, well, absolutely.
You're getting top of the line strings. So.
For sure.
What else?
So you got the BowTree. So if it's a single BowTree, so one hook.
Yeah.
To hold this case.
Yeah.
I'm going $100.
Okay. So either way, we're probably $1,300 in accessories.
Right.
So now you're at $3,300.
Mm-hmm.
So is Cerakote finish? It's
it's there, but
it's something.
It's only on the riser. It's not going to be on the limbs.
I get that. But it's worth something.
Sure.
So, now we're maybe up to $1,400 in accessories.
Mm-hmm.
So we're only talking about really a premium of $500 or $600, let's say.
Right.
For
the thing that would help, like if they put on here, it just says a portion of the proceeds.
Yeah.
If they said, hey man, we're giving $500 for every one of these to Folds of Honor.
Right. Or 10% or whatever.
Not that $3,500 makes me go, yeah, I'm going to buy it right now.
Yeah.
But it makes more sense.
Yes.
But so anyway, let's get into the specs and then we'll see if we can find what these stabilizers are.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you start with drawing because I want to talk about the weight.
Okay. You're going to test my eyesight here.
Doug's well.
All right. So I'm going to go start at the top here. So the mass weight.
No, don't start there. Go to drawing first.
You want to start there? Okay. All right, draw length is adjustable from 25 to 30.
So, which is decent swing.
Decent swing, but a lot of guys like to have that 30.5 or 31, but that's typical. Speed is 341. So, typical speeds, right? Nothing crazy. Now, speaking of speed, I don't know. I'm assuming
that was shot at 70.
Well, but I'm saying I'm assuming that cam has the comfort and performance. I would assume,
and that's probably a performance mod.
Yes, definitely. They definitely rate them at the performance. So I'm assuming it's the same cam that's adjustable for comfort or performance. Brace height, kind of small,
tiny.
Yeah. So it's less than 6 1/4. It's coming in at 6.18. So it's less than 6 1/4. So it's kind of aggressive. Your axle to axle is 32. Only 2 options for draw weight, 60 and 70, which is, that's fine. I mean, that's where probably 90% of the bows are anyways. And this is what, this is the real eye opener, I think.
So this is why I wanted Doug to let me do the mass weight. So mass weight, now this is supposedly a whole magnesium bow.
Yeah.
It's not telling us any different.
No.
So they're putting the mass weight at 3.6 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Lighter than aluminum.
Yep. So
that's the key there, is that lighter than aluminum. So the Expedition Maglite comes in at 3.75.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to go over 2 other bows that we've talked about prior, just because I am almost 1,000% sure that my bow is lighter.
Yeah, carbon?
Oh, it is not. Okay. But the bow that was the APA.
Okay.
3.4.
Yeah, but the freaking thing is it's a toy. It's tiny. And,
so,
well, what's the axle to axle on the Expedition?
That was in a 33. So it's an inch longer.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's where I would assume that.
Yeah.
0.1.
I don't know the angle of the limbs, if it's, if the risers are the same, one is longer than the other, I don't know. But yeah, but for a 32-inch bow, it's super light.
Oh, what the heck happened there? All right, so now we're going to get, so the limited edition 25th anniversary honor stands as a tribute to both the product and the people that have shaped their legacy. Excuse me. It embodies a relentless pursuit of excellence. More than just a bow, it is a symbol of gratitude to the BowTech community and who have made BowTech what it is today.
Yeah.
So there's little holdovers. So we got deadlock, flip disc. So you are right, it does have both.
Okay.
Titanium fasteners.
Okay.
Orbit dampeners, which are on older bows.
Yep.
Magnesium riser.
Just hang out, just read that and see if it has anything. It doesn't get into the details, but
while introducing the future of bow technology with the revolutionary AeroMag.
Okay.
Once reserved for elite defense and aerospace endeavors, this cutting-edge magnesium material weighs significantly lighter than aluminum, yet boasts unparalleled strength and stiffness.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this is Maglite.
Okay.
Because the original wording behind Expeditions was almost identical.
Okay.
And that was before the X-Lite, because they did a Maglite bow the year previous.
Yeah.
But they couldn't get enough of it to fulfill orders. So it took that long.
Yeah.
So we got the FLX cable guard containment system.
Go back one. It said, what's that, center mass technology? Is that their, I'm assuming is that their bridge lock kind of deal?
Yep. Technology precisely aligns the sight to optimize unmatched stability and accuracy in every shot. So basically, they took Matthew's idea, put it into the riser. Basically, the same thing a Picatinny mount does. Picatinny extends it a little bit just because of the fact that you have to put a block on the front of the riser.
Right.
So, man, I hope somebody sues these guys.
The advantage to the center mass or the bridge lock is that it's adjustable.
Yeah.
Just like on your dovetail, you can slide a little further, a little closer, whatever.
Yep.
Whereas on a Picatinny, you can't
You're
do
stuck,
that.
right.
So that is one advantage.
All right. So let's see what's down here on the grip. There's the grip technology, Cerakote finish.
Now, I will say, just looking at it quickly, getting back to the whole center, whatever the hell they call it.
I know what you're looking at.
It's a little rounded, it's like a half moon as opposed to like a dovetail.
Right. And
maybe it's...
Look at where that grip is.
It still looks low to me. I don't think it's center. It's not
center, but it's definitely higher than it normally is.
Maybe. It's definitely not a prime where it's dead.
No.
But it could be.
It's going to be hard to... Prime has that shit figured out.
Yeah.
No one's jumping on that bandwagon.
But if you look at see the hole right there? See that? It's more of a half moon than it is like a...
That wasn't it. That's the bottom. That's the top of the limb pocket.
Go back.
Hold on. It's right here. I just saw it.
It's more of like a half moon than it is...
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, it's hard to see it. Yeah.
Let's blow that up.
There was a better picture.
But I think that was looking the other... We were too high up on the bow. And of course, they're not going to have a really good picture of it.
Yeah.
Because people will steal it.
But if it's a half moon...
right there. It is... Well, I mean, it looks like a half moon, but...
Yeah.
So that's like a whole lot of work.
And the other disadvantage is, typical things that have the dovetail aren't going to work. So
you're going to have to buy a specific sight.
Maybe.
If you end up with this bow, you need a specific sight.
Maybe. And maybe that's why they went the route where they're providing it.
Right.
They went to Black Gold and said, this is what we need. And they produced a bunch of them, for that shape. I don't know. I'm just guessing, just looking at the pictures.
No, I hear you. And let's see. So only comes in limited edition Topo Cerakote.
Okay. It's actually kind of cool when you look at it.
Well, I don't mind the Topo, the engraving per se.
Yeah.
I know it's not engraving, but...
So I'm assuming it's going to be just that color. It's going to be a black with a kind of a grayish lines on it. So I'm assuming that is going to be consistent on the limbs as well. So
I would probably say it would be painted that way. I don't think it's definitely not Cerakote on the limbs.
No, it would, because it can't flex.
Yeah, it won't flex.
But yeah, it looks like the whole bow is uniform. There's not a different color on the limbs.
No. But yeah, the cam looks the same. Cable guard looks the same. Obviously, those dampeners that they use, the big round ones.
Yeah, that hasn't changed. But again, here we're looking at it says limited edition. So it's going to be a limited run, and it's going to be a one-shot deal.
Right.
This is their 25th anniversary. Once they're gone. You're never going to get them again.
Right.
So, which I wouldn't spend that kind of money on it. But there are guys that will.
Definitely, and 100%.
Guys that are going to buy the bow, and And
I think my issue with it is, okay, it's your 25th anniversary. Why not put a bow, make it still limited edition?
Yeah.
Up the price, do something fancy with it, but don't make it $4,000. Let all your fanboys have a shot at it.
Yeah. I get that.
That's just, in my eyes, that's better marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, we're going to limit it to 1,000. We'll sell 1,000 bows in a heartbeat at $1,800.
Yeah.
Put this stupid dovetail or bridge lock, center mass, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Put that on your bow because none of your bows have it now. Change it to a Cerakote.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Well, the other big issue I have is, yes, it's limited edition. Theoretically, it should increase in value.
Right.
But it's a bow. And the problem with that is technology is going to keep advancing, and you're going to have a bow that you think is going to be worth more money in, say, 15 or 20 years because it's, it's a limited run.
Yep.
Who wants to shoot a 20-year-old bow? It's not like it's a rifle that the technology isn't going to change much. You buy a limited edition rifle today, 50 years from now, it's going to be worth a lot more money.
Right.
Or a pistol or whatever it may be. But with archery equipment, technology, is going to make this thing a dinosaur that would want to shoot it, in 15 years.
Exactly.
So that's the big thing with, a limited edition bow is that, they're just going to...
Yeah, this won't be like the Winchester 364 with the saddle ring on it in the box.
Exactly. Exactly. Because 15 years from now, this is going to be a dinosaur.
Right.
So, but that being said, there's enough guys out there that will want this bow, and
I'm down to know how many they can make.
I think it's going to be real limited.
Well,
I think it's going to be probably 500 bows. I'm thinking.
I'm going way less than that.
You think so?
I'm thinking like 200.
Well, maybe.
Because no matter what, unless all of a sudden some corporate dude calls them and says, I need 7 of them for my sales guys or, whatever.
Yeah.
yeah, there's going to be the average guy that is going to go home and talk to his wife and be like, honey, there's this new bow. It's a limited edition and and you know how I love BowTech and and he's going to go take $4,000 out of the bank, go to his local dealer and buy one.
Yeah.
But the average guy, whether you're a BowTech fanboy or not, you're not going to drop $4,000 on a bow.
No, this is going to be guys that, not like you and me. They're going to be guys that, have tons of money and have nothing better to spend their money on. And they'll just, we'll hang it on the wall and there it is. I've got my limited edition.
Right.
Hammer, I'm sure Hammer won't have one.
No. Custom ones, 17-inch dual.
Yeah. No, he won't have one.
But if any of you do, by chance, buy one and want to bring it to the shop, I would love to test it.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
341, I get it's only 30-inch straw. So 30-inch straw, 70 pounds. You're talking a 350 grain arrow to be safe.
Yep.
I don't see that bow shooting 341.
No, they never do.
No. I know they don't, but that's like, there's, to put a number out there, like Expedition was notorious for it. They would throw this freaking number out there that if you put it in a damn fast pitch machine, it wasn't going to go that fast.
Yeah.
I see this bow being that your real short brace sight's going to help it.
No doubt.
But it's stopping at 30-inch.
Yep.
So you're not going to get that 31-inch, like most of the bows that are out there.
Yeah, but they're not testing them at 31. That number is going to be IBO, so it's going to be 30-inch draw.
Right.
So I think this thing is going to come in probably around 330.
Yeah, I was thinking 320 was my number.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Typically it's 10. Usually it's 10 feet per second. Yep. Some are a lot worse than that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think most of them come in, 10 feet per second less.
And I'm surprised they didn't do, like, they went 60, 70. Like, what if the guy, that really wants it can't even draw 60?
Yeah. Well,
you can turn it, but
you turn it down to 50.
Right. But now that's kind of like the reason I always take 65-pound bows. I know I could shoot 65.
Yeah.
To be comfortable, I turn them down a little bit.
Yeah.
But now you're losing all the guts. Like after shooting my bow, I was like 240, really?
Yeah.
So cranked it back up. I would get 4 sight tapes.
Yeah.
In 2 pounds. So dropping it, how many turns can you take out of a BowTech? 8?
Yeah, 8. I think 8's pushing it. I think
6 maybe.
Yeah, probably 6.
So
probably 6.
6 turns.
Because I think it's about a pound and a half is typically what it is. So
you can't even really get to 50.
Yeah.
You're going to be 52, 53.
Maybe.
At 6 turns.
Yeah.
Yep. But interesting.
I think it's more, this is also a way for them to kind of test this new magnesium riser.
Sure.
Let's get them out there. Let's get a little feedback on them.
But if they were
make
smart
money at the same time.
If they were smart, we're going to try to figure out something to be under the price point of an Expedition.
Yeah.
With the same riser.
Yeah. And the other thing too is, let's face it, the guys that are buying this bow, they're not dragging it up, up a tree.
No,
they're not clanging this thing up, the ladder as they, on the rope as they're bringing it up. Yeah. So this is not going to be. Shit. Yeah. That's not why you're buying this bow.
No.
So that's not, and they know that. That's why I'm not. Speed probably is not that big a deal.
No, I don't know. That's my problem with marketing people, is like they come up with this idea, and somewhere on paper this looked really good.
Yeah. And they sat in a boardroom and everyone agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they brought the investment group in that owns them and went like, we need this amount of money so we can go buy some magnesium.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But hey, it is what it is. But if you are that person and you go and drop starting at $4,000,
yeah,
bring it in. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, man.
I'd love to shoot it.
Yeah.
Take some pictures of it for sure.
Well, the other thing too is, maybe this is just the beginning. Maybe 5 years from now,
right,
we're all going to be shooting magnesium.
Well, I think magnesium is the next step.
So, because, Expedition was the first one, and everyone looked at them like they were crazy. Well, now there's 2.
Yep.
And now it's one of the big boys.
Right.
Expedition, Expedition, took a leap at it, but now one of the big boys is actually doing it. So let's see what happens next year.
Yeah.
You know, let's see if one of the other big boys steps up and says, you know what, maybe this magnesium, you know, is the next big thing. Let's give it a shot.
It's going to be close.
We'll see.
It's going to be close. We'll see. I know there's talk that I can't repeat because I'll get in trouble. But yeah, so that was the BowTech news, and that dropped on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, so it kind of worked out.
I actually got a text from one of my customers at the shop and said, how many of these are you bringing in? And all I did was look at it and see it was BowTech, and I was like, none.
Yeah.
And he's like, click on the link. And then I clicked on it, and I was like, are you kidding me? But so, regardless, that's the news. But then, so at about 6:30-ish this morning, I guess it was. Yeah, it had to be 6:30-ish.
Yeah, something like that. That's about when you text me.
Yeah. So, scrolling through Facebook, took the dogs out, sitting at the kitchen tables, flipping through, and I catch a post from 14 hours before that.
Yeah.
And it's a video, and it's old Mr. Knock on himself. And
JD.
What's this all about?
Yeah.
So I click on it and listen to the video, and I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
So for those of you that know who John Dudley is, John Dudley is a very good archer, was a professional archer, owned a shop for a while, shot for Hoyt for a while. And ever since leaving Hoyt, he has been a PSE guy through and through. In fact, when they did the teaser video for the Mach 30 this year, it was him and Dave Cousins.
Okay.
They like pick up Dave Cousins like out in Hawaii and bring him back to a farm in Iowa.
Yeah.
And John Dudley is going to be his coach.
Okay.
It was actually a pretty funny video.
That's a good coach to have.
Yeah, yeah. And if you've done an attack event, you probably shot it as a ginormous green Sasquatch. You're seeing him around the shoot. Maybe you're shooting one of his, what's the name of his release? The Knock to It or something? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it's a little green, like 3-finger deal.
Yeah.
Thumb button.
Yeah.
But John's a really cool guy. I've got to talk to him on numerous occasions over the years. But he didn't seem real heartbroken in the video.
No.
I think it was just like he had to do it.
Yeah, something twisted him up.
Well, I could pretty much tell you what twisted him up with PSE. But like just the video itself, like he didn't seem like super heartbroken.
No.
But it wasn't like he was like screw numb either. So,
no.
And John's just not that type of guy.
That's not his. That
would be me. I'd be like, screw this guy and screw this guy. Yeah. But no. So he announced yesterday that he is dropping his partnership with PSE and Sitka.
Yeah.
So the Sitka one, that wasn't that big of a thing for me. But I'll go into something, but we're going to talk about the PSE version of it first.
Yeah, that's the bigger deal.
So,
because his name is on their boat.
Right. So last year you had the Levitate, you had the Knock on Unite, which I shot.
Yep.
You had the Embark, which was a while ago, but that was like the start. That's when you started with PSE.
How many years ago was that?
Oh, Christ. I don't remember.
It's been a while, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Man, he's got a lot of freaking accomplishments. But anyway, so he started with PSE. The very first bow, I believe it was the Embark, which is like that entry-level bow.
Yeah.
But he's had a hand in a lot of their bows.
I think he's behind some of the design. Uh-huh. He sits down in the room and he puts his 2 cents in on what he wants. Because listen, John is not going to put his name on something that he's not happy with. Right. So yeah, I'm sure he had a lot of say in what they produced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so this year with the Mach 30, they were also coming out with the Knock 30, which was his version.
Yeah.
Specific colorway, had the knock on,
Yeah.
But so yeah, this was like pretty eye-opening.
Yeah.
Because Pete Shepley, who was the original owner of PSE, sold last year.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, as a PSE dealer, it has not been a fun year.
Yeah.
It took right now. I mean, if I ordered a PSE bow today, depending on the model, but if I ordered it today, I'm not getting it before the end of the year.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And
that's absurd.
Yeah. And I mean, you and I have talked about it. I had a laser.
Yeah.
It's a youth or starter target bow on order since March. March 23rd is when I ordered it.
Yeah.
I canceled it last week because the customer had paid for it and has been waiting since March 23rd to get it picked up.
If it's a youth bow, they could have grown out of it by now.
Right. Exactly. So, and all I kept getting was, we're waiting on parts. We're waiting on parts.
Yeah.
And I think
Pete not being there has a lot to do with that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and I know one of the guys that is part of the group that bought them.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure why he bought a bow company.
Yeah.
But,
and I'm sure Dudley, he's not stupid. He can see the writing on the wall.
No, absolutely.
He can see where this is headed. But the timing is really what's kind of crazy because, they're going to launch all these new bows shortly. I mean, we're going, August is right here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know when PSC is going to drop their new bows, but typically starting, November,
I don't think they're dropping
December. But that's my point, right? So if they're going to drop a new bow in, say, November or December, all of the manufacturing, all the technology, it's all done already. You would think they're just doing the fine tuning. So now John pulls his name. You can't use me or my knock on now. Well, wait a second. We've got to kind of start over here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's
then one of the things that he said in the video was that the contracts that he was going to talk about were either very close to expiring or already expired.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, first of all, I don't know anybody that's ever signed a contract that ends in the middle of a year for something like what he does.
Yeah.
Like when we had Rack and Rod, it was, everything was
calendar year.
Yeah. So how, unless something ended at the end of last year and they were just continuing to work and it was a setup type of deal, but
yeah,
that kind of struck me weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think part of the problem is because they can't make their own parts fast enough, which I don't understand how that works. His brand, Knock On, his bows were not being produced and shipped.
Yeah.
So I think that had a lot to do with it because that's his moneymaker.
That's a knock on,
right?
No pun intended. That's a knock on him.
Right.
Right. So if John's going to put his name on something, it's got to be up to his standards.
Right. Right. When you can't produce bows in a timely fashion, that's like every time I called about that laser, it was like, oh, we're waiting on parts. We're waiting on, like, where are you waiting for them from? Because you make your own parts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just make it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was like there's no technical sales manager to my knowledge because I've asked my rep twice for two different reasons. I had to talk to Dave Cousins. Dave's a super good guy.
Yeah.
But they had this dude running customer service and he rubs me the wrong way. And certain companies have found out very recently not to rub me the wrong way enough times because I get angry. But yeah, so it's like now we brought PSC in last year.
Yeah.
When everything was going great, they were shipping bows on time. I didn't have to wait for anything. And now, we're looking at 2025 and going, Jesus Christ, now we got to find another bow company because these guys can't ship a freaking bow to save their life.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll see.
And that's a big chunk of your line, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's
this year it wasn't that big. Last year it was huge. We did like 20 PSCs last year.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, the PSC, the amount of bows that they produce.
Oh yeah,
all the different models. That's probably, if you break it down model by model, that's probably 50% of the total models available that you sell.
Yeah, I wouldn't go 50.
Because Elite only has a handful. What, three?
So, no,
three or four?
Elite has, because they go below, once you hit the Ethos or the Kairos, they have like a whole slew. They have the Ember and the Terrain.
Oh, do
and yeah, there's
I'm only familiar with the
there's 6 or 7 there.
Okay.
Bear obviously has like 30.
That's true. Yes. The Bear definitely has more than PSC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bear, that's what we bring in a lot of the lower inexpensive bears.
Yeah.
Than I would a PSC or an Elite. But yeah, it was just weird. So then the other company that he mentioned was Sitka.
Yeah.
And that doesn't hurt me whatsoever. Everybody knows I don't like Sitka.
Yeah. And honestly, like I said to you before we got started here, I didn't even know that Dudley was involved with Sitka.
Yeah.
I mean, I see him wearing it, but.
Right. And that's what I think the deal was like,
he was never, on commercial. He was
Actually,
never.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, he was, because on his TV show,
Yeah.
that's where he pushes it.
Oh, yeah? Oh, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. Now that I did, the more I'm thinking about it.
But, it's not like they have a knock-on pant or
No.
it's not like that. So
Sika would have never done that. They don't do it for anybody.
Well, they don't need to.
Right.
They don't need, they're going to sell just as much clothing, whether Dudley wears it or not, so, and like I said, I didn't know that Dud was even, associated with Sika.
Right.
So, because you see guys wearing this, doesn't mean that they're getting paid to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, usually it does, but sometimes.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But
I don't get paid to wear it.
No. So the funny part is when he went through the whole video and he kept saying that there was new ownership.
Yeah.
And, they didn't have the same direction and and all that.
Yeah.
So everybody knows, like, you go to TAC event and, John has like probably the most fun out of anybody at a TAC event because he's doing all kind of crazy stuff. And I know Sika was bought out. So they have new owners.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's all going to work.
For the second time? This is the second time. So this is the third set of owners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I think there's a lot of rough and tumble going on with these new guys.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are, but I think that is exactly what happened with PSEs. These new owners, they have no clue how to run a boat company.
No, it's corporate suits.
Yeah,
that are businesses.
This one isn't. So PSE, one of the people that bought PSE, owns a camouflage company.
Okay,
I think next year there's going to be a lot of that camo on these bows.
Okay,
John probably didn't like that because he does his deal. It's green or tan.
Yeah,
and the whole Sika deal, I think that's more of a corporate deal, where they're like, we don't care how many kids you help learn how to shoot.
Yeah.
Or how many adults you teach how to shoot better.
Right. How many pairs of pants can you sell us?
Right.
That's the bottom line.
So now the real question becomes okay, a guy of this stature in the industry.
Yeah.
It's not like you just leave and be like, I'm done. I'm not shooting, not doing anything anymore. I'm not working with anybody.
Yeah, where's he land?
Well, I know where he lands. I'm going to see if you know where he lands.
I don't know where he lands.
So we'll start with, and the only reason I would put money on this, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
If you go through John's Facebook page,
okay,
there's a lot of pictures. He does a lot of working out and stuff. Him and his wife, they're all over the place.
Yes.
His kid.
Yep.
And I'm going to say 10 of the last 30 pictures on his Facebook page. There's something very, very, very significant in those pictures.
Okay.
Any idea what it is?
Nope. I don't stalk him.
I don't stalk him either. But when I heard about all this, I'm like, well, okay, so there's got to be some clues.
Yeah.
So I put the detective hat on this morning, and in I'm going to say 10 of those pictures, there's an energy drink.
Okay.
And the energy drink is from somebody who also owns a camo company.
Okay. That makes total sense. I mean, it doesn't shock me at all. I mean, that's right up his alley.
Right. So there's this guy that owns these companies.
Yeah.
Ex-military.
Okay.
We're working on hints here. We're going to see if Doug can guess it before we give it away.
Is he based in Utah?
No.
Okay.
Well, at least not that I know of.
Okay.
At least that's not what the tag says.
Okay.
Let's see. He sells gis, like MMA judo type gis.
Yep.
He's got the hammer, but not the hammer you're thinking of. The other hammer.
The other hammer.
Yeah, keep hammering.
Oh, Cam?
Yeah. You know who it is yet?
It's not Cam.
No. So Cam doesn't own the camo company. This is the camo company that Cam went to from Under Armour.
Oh.
Jocko. Origin Camo.
Okay.
So Jocko is like energy drinks, judo, all this stuff. And the name of the energy drink is Jocko.
I never saw that.
Yeah. Nobody around here would probably, unless they, are Origin or Jocko fanboys.
Yeah.
But he's got all these different Jocko cans in pictures.
Okay.
So again, once again, this is not 100% fact.
Yeah.
I'm giving you my opinion based on my investigation.
Yeah.
So when you have that many pictures of Jocko Energy, I'm gonna guess you're posting it for a reason, because they're like mainframed in every shot.
Yeah.
You just left the camo company you've been with for however long.
Yeah.
And it just so happens the guy that owns that energy drink has a camo company.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts. And Jocko was at the last tack.
Okay.
And there were pictures of him, Cam, and John.
Okay.
So that's my guess there.
I did see one of the pictures of Dudley at the last tack event, and he's shooting his PSE.
What?
So maybe that had something to do with the timing. Tack had to be over. He's got no more events. So
Well, it could be. Could be.
I'm just curious
I know. I'm almost.
I don't know where he's going to, what's he going to shoot?
Oh, so with Bullstone, I'm like 1,000% sure on. Again, not factual. This is what I'm investigating, but he just made a recent switch.
Okay.
So he's always been a big Easton dude, shooting Eastons.
Yeah.
He just made a broadhead switch.
Oh, okay.
And it surprised me when I saw that he went to this broadhead company.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a great broadhead, but he went to G5. Who owns G5?
He'll be shooting prime next year.
I'd put a lot of money on that bet.
Okay.
So they have the center grip.
Yep.
Decent speed. Because they have nobody. The only guy that I knew they had, aside from their pro shooter, I'm not talking about pro shooters.
Yeah.
They had Bo Martonic for the longest time.
Yeah.
And he just left them with the Hoyt. Bo is from the East Meets West podcast out of Western Pennsylvania. Bo's a super good dude.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know he left Prime until probably 3 months ago.
Okay.
He made this big post about Hoyt. So they literally have nobody out there with a face.
Okay.
So I would 100% think that he's going to come up and help them design a carbon prime.
Okay.
Center grip.
Yeah.
Knock on something.
Yep.
And that's where I think he's going.
Okay.
Prime. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't get the impression that John is the type of guy to chase the dollar.
I don't think he chases it for the dollar at all. I think he
not like a lot
wants
of
to
guys.
Design bows.
Yes.
That's what he wants to do.
100%. He's doing it because he wants to do it.
Right.
Whereas, I mean, I see it not coming from the industry. I can see it, as I get deeper into this, they're all whores.
Yep.
They just chase the money, and whoever's going to pay them more money, that's what they're going to wear. That's what they're going to shoot. And they could care less.
100%.
So, and I don't believe John is like that. So,
and I think that's part of the deal. If he goes to Prime, not that they don't have good designers, but John's going to bring the aspect of, I've been shooting forever.
Yeah.
Here's what I know.
Yes.
And, he's going to relive the video training Dave Cousins for the Mach 30 bow.
Yeah. Well, and there's not a person on the planet that can deny John's, John's resume.
Yep.
He's one of the greats.
Yep.
So when John speaks, you listen.
Yep.
So I think if that is the case, that's huge for Prime.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yep.
You know how I feel about Prime. So
maybe we'll just get a better marketing team too, and then they'll help out.
Yeah. Well, then.
And see, that's the cool part. The big thing, and I didn't know this. I kind of figured his wife did something, with Knock On.
Yeah.
So there was a picture the other day. They both had the same shirt on, and it was actually a drawing she drew on the chalkboard.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, put that on t-shirts."
Okay.
So she's got a lot to do with.
I think she's
Knock
involved.
On. Oh yeah, a lot more than I thought.
Well, when we saw him at ATA, we had to check with her to see what his schedule was like.
Can you look at the calendar, please?
So she looked at the calendar. So yeah, she knows what's going on.
And I knew she was involved, but she's involved a lot more than I thought it was.
Yeah. And this might be an opportunity for her too. Maybe they kind of drag her into it and kind of introduce her and
bring on a woman.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yep.
So.
Well, I thought for sure I wasn't going to order any primes next year. Damn it.
I might get my wish. Yeah.
But,
well, I mean, it's interesting. We'll see. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. And I think there'll be stuff floating around now, which is like Elite has given us the lowdown on the new bow.
Yeah.
That's getting launched at the Classic.
Okay. So that's January.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it used to be.
Yeah.
Like everybody did it in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but guys have been going earlier because they want to be the first one.
Yeah.
Right. So like last year, I know BowTech was November last year.
Mm-hmm. So
November 14th, 15th. It was something like that. Right around my birthday, your birthday.
Right.
It was mid-November.
Yep.
So, every year they want to be the first one. So, yeah, so you're going to start to see these things drop November, December. I think Matthews last year was December, or maybe like right after Thanksgiving.
No, I think it was right. And I just wish, we talked about this once before. I wish they would go back to just everybody freaking release at ATA. Yeah. It makes, we're just coming out of hunting, as a shop owner, we're coming out of hunting season.
Yeah.
Rifle season's still in.
Yep.
Then you got late season, and you're telling us we got to order, all these pre-show bows, and you're like, Christ, can I get through the busiest part of my year?
Yeah.
And then we'll discuss?
Or, honestly, they should do it earlier. Either do it in January or do it in August.
Right.
Because now guys will buy that
July.
bow.
I'd say July.
Yeah, okay.
Because it gives you 2 months.
Yeah.
2 full solid months of...
In the summer, do it in the summer so that guys will buy the new bow for that season.
Mm-hmm.
You do it in November. No one is buying a brand new bow in November.
No.
I know. But who, unless you have to.
Right.
Who's going to, switch mid-season?
Matthews fanboys.
Or you, because, you sell your bow or whatever.
Well, that's what happens.
But yeah, most guys are not going to change mid-season. So, yeah, either do it earlier or just wait till January.
Yeah.
When
that's when the ATA was fun. Like when everybody was launching their shit at ATA.
Yeah, because it was always something to look forward to.
Right. And I mean, the numbers, it'd be packed. All the companies were there. Now it's like,
but that's today's world. That's social media. That's, that's the internet. It just, there's no reason to gather in a big building anymore like it used to be. You just go online, everyone stare at their computer, and there it is.
Yep.
So, not that it's the best way. It's not the most fun way.
No.
No. That's just the world we live in. So, yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how this thing shakes out. So
we'll keep you updated as we find out more.
Yeah.
We'll definitely share it with you. And then again, next week, we'll have Brian Hale from Elk County Outfitters. I didn't get drawn again. By the way,
I'm not laughing at you. It's just, it's,
I literally texted Brian. I texted Ned. I was like, did you hear my name yet?
Yeah.
And they did. They put up the list. I think the closest guy that got drawn closest to us was out of Holmesdale.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
That was the only one.
Wow.
And I think that was a general tag for rifle season.
Okay.
I don't remember if it was bull or cow.
Okay.
But yeah, it just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Didn't pan out. But I may talk to Lily. I want to try to go out and maybe get on one of the hunts with them as an extra guide.
Yeah. One of the guys to help pack out.
Yeah.
Something.
They're going to freaking Clydesdale let you. And there's no carrying meat here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But no. So next week we will have Ryan on. It'll be on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then
that actually works out better because the drawing is over.
Yep.
And he will probably already been taking phone calls. I'm sure he's been taking phone calls.
Yeah. So they're pretty proactive about it. Like at the drawing, they'll actually start calling people.
Yeah. So he probably is already booked, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And they even tried giving away a free hunt. So if your name was in the draw.
Yeah.
And you bought one of their swag packs that has like a shirt, a sticker, and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Or a shirt and a hat and a t-shirt. Oh my God. A hat, a shirt, and a sticker.
Yeah.
If you bought that package, your name went into a drawing. And if you were drawn, they would give you your hunt for free.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And they were close, I guess, is from what I understand.
Okay.
But wasn't the same. It wasn't the guy.
Okay.
So.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'd be curious to see, what his feedback is from the draw and how many guys have reached out. And
absolutely. I know like they're always posting stuff on social. So they've been out scouting.
Yeah.
Big time.
I'm curious to see, did you see who drew the coveted archery tag?
So there's a whole slew of them. I think there's 15 archery tags, 25 archery tags.
I think there's only usually 5 bowls or something like that, right?
Yeah. There's bull and then a decent amount of cow.
Yeah.
But there's only 140 tags total. So,
yeah.
You got 3 seasons and you got to break it up between bulls and cows.
Yeah. I think last year they might have had 3 or 5.
I think it was 5 last year.
Archery bull tags. Yep. So.
And that's actually the one guy that won last year.
Yeah, he's from Washington, I think, or
no, that was the governor's tag.
Oh, was it?
There was a guy that very first time he put in for the archery tag.
Yeah,
the first time he ever put in for the draw. Gets drawn.
Yeah,
comes into the shop. We set the bow up. He took a waving.
Yes, I remember.
And he passed on 5 different bulls.
Yeah.
And I was ready to drive out there.
Talk some sense into
They kept texting me, listen, this guy, he passed on another bull.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, he's waiting for that 400-incher.
Yeah. But now the Kika tag, so there's a governor's tag and a Kika tag. So Kika, Keystone Elk Country Alliance, they get a special tag.
Yeah.
And then there's the governor's tag, which is that real high price one.
Yeah.
The Kika tag's a raffle.
Okay. That governor's tag, that's the guy that from Washington State that shot the
455 inches.
Yeah, something silly.
Yep. Yeah. And they spend a buttload of money on that tag.
Yeah.
I think it was $700,000 last year.
Was it?
I'm almost positive.
Wow.
I'll have to go back and look. I'm almost positive. But I don't know. What that was.
Yeah, next week we'll figure it out.
So
crazy.
But in the meantime, stay tuned. If you want to see something, hear something, want to just chit-chat with us, call us an asshole, whatever you'd like to do, you can hit us up on Gmail. It's huntcastpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on social. Promise we'll start posting there more. Doug's been slacking.
A little bit, yeah.
So,
a little bit.
But we will be filming because we are going on to do one of our properties out in Hancock, New York.
Yeah.
Hopefully starting next Sunday.
Okay.
So we're going to take the camera, we're going to take the GoPros, all that fun stuff, and we're going to get a whole bunch of footage together, and we're just going to blast it on the YouTube so you can kind of see what we do. So we'll go from there until next weekend.
Yep.
Give us a follow, give us a like, subscribe to our YouTube page. Other than that, we'll talk to you next week.
Yep. See you.